Hi guys, happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Okay. I think these cards are so appropriate. I know they don't show up really well on camera, but given the new moon, I love to use these cards. I love them anyway, but I really don't use them for online things because they don't show up well. But what we have is the Ten of Swords. Okay, very appropriate given the new moon. Okay, eclipse. And we've got the Star card crossed by the Queen of Cups. And the outbound card is the Four of Swords. Okay, I think this is wonderful. All right. Remember, new moons, they bring things in, right? So make your affirmations. Energy is fluent, so we're not past anything, okay? So make your affirmations. And also think about what you want to release, okay? Eclipses are good at eclipsing things out to make room so that the new moon can bring things in, okay? Now, the Ten of Swords comes in here. That's the sun in Gemini, okay? That's about accepting things as they are, okay? Endings of old cycles to let new cycles begin, right? It's pretty much the same energy that we've been going through, all right? So I'm really not going to cap out on the astrological things. It's the same energy that we've been working with to try to make changes, right? Okay, so the Ten of Swords is not a bad card. It's just, it's the light before the dawn, right? It's just accepting that things can't go on like they have, either thought patterns, relationships, you know, too much thinking and worrying sometimes has the opposite effect. Sometimes when we, you know, we overthink something and we end up paralyzing ourselves. And it's funny because the things that we're trying to resist are the things that we're actually pulling in when we do this, right? So it's just accepting that things are how they are, and that a new day is coming, okay? Like at the end of the tunnel. When we realize things like that we just accept things the way that they are and we don't beat them to death so that we basically paralyze ourselves, that's when the light comes. That's the light at the end of the tunnel in and of itself right there, okay? Now we've got the Star card, which is great, okay? That's about being in the moment, okay? Relaxing your mind, being in the moment, meditation, clearing your thoughts. That's, you know, your true north. You're making changes in your life. The key in this card is to be present, okay? And make a wish. You're making your affirmations. Make a wish and be very crystal clear. Now is not the time to be scattered. It's a time to really just use this energy to be crystal clear on what you want so that the universe can align that, okay? And with this card too, watch for signs. And don't second guess them, okay? That's the key to this too. Now, how that shows up is it's crossed by the Queen of Cups, okay? So that's how the Star card, your signs and all are going to show up here. The Queen of Cups is just telling you that you are in full command, okay, of your visions and of your dreams. And you know what you want and what you'll accept and what you won't accept, okay? You're open to receiving. And you know on that front, too, what you're not willing to receive, okay? You are divinely connected here. Your intuition is at an all-time high right now. The veil has never, ever been thinner. So even people who will ask me, do you think I'm intuitive? We're all intuitive. It's just to what degree do you trust? You know, trust yourself. And you'll be very, very surprised at how just that in and of itself changes your whole life, okay? Don't overindulge now in feelings of loss or, you know, deprivation over affairs, relationships, things of the heart, right? Be honest with yourself so that you're crystal clear with other people. This is a time really where you don't want to give someone the wrong impression, right? If you feel a certain way about someone, make it known. And that goes on both ends of the spectrum too. If you're giving someone false hope in something, you want to rectify that now, okay? in other words, don't mislead someone, and don't be misled, okay? Be honest with others so that they're not, so that doesn't happen. Because what we're coming in here with, thank God I pulled a fortune card, because that's the earth card. We're lacking that element in this reading, so we're pulling it in, though, with the fortune card. Okay, so that's good. So we can ground all of this, because what happens too, and we're also lacking wands in here, so we're lacking fire, and without that fortune card, we'd be lacking earth too. Okay, when we lack those two elements, fire is we feel cold, okay, uninspired. Our relationships, they lack that personal touch, right? We're easily intimidated, and we're afraid to express ourselves, right? And that goes for, that's why I think with her, I was prompted to say, don't mislead people, and be honest about the things that you want. Communicate the things that you want. People are not mind readers, right? And that, again, goes both ways here. And given we're lacking fire, that can very easily happen, okay? When we lack earth, we feel nervous. That ungrounded energy, our insecurities pop up, right? Hence the Ten of Swords. We're just, paralyzing ourselves, basically, okay? We have a hard time making decisions. Our daily things fall by the wayside. That stack of bills that piles up, or, you forgot the car didn't have gas, or things like that. Our everyday, the mundane day-to-day, when we're feeling like this and lacking this, these elements, the things like that, they really pile up. And while they're not big issues in the interim, they become bigger issues, right, when they get out of control. So the Four of Swords comes in here on the outbound, and it basically tells you that's a card to really just step back, be crystal clear. Remember, that's the card that Picasso had on his wall when he decided to, really pull himself out of everything, to just get his bearings on what his creative energy was going to be. Without quieting your mind, you can't get your bearings. Okay, so that's all that this card is really saying, that, Monday, and again, energy is fluent. Just use the energy here of this new moon. Use the energy of the eclipse, all right? What do you want to, just be honest with yourself, basically, is what this is, okay? I think sometimes, too, and I keep feeling this around this as I was throwing it, is that, sometimes when we feel unbalanced or blocked, or be it through whatever, lack of doing something, lack of not doing something, a simple, I'm sorry, I'll do better. I know I'm better. And that doesn't need to be to someone else. That can just basically be to ourselves. We forgive everyone else, and we forget ourselves, right? So a simple, you know what? I'm sorry. I release this energy. I know who I am. It's just recognition. It's ownership and taking responsibility, and it changes your mindset around, even if you're in a slump, right? And we all go through that. A lot of energy has been going on, and it's a lot. It's really taxing too. It just sucks you dry if you're not on top of it, right? Just affirm. I'll do better. You know what? I forgive myself. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm learning. This is a journey, and you know what? Tomorrow's another day, and I'll do better. Okay? And that holds you accountable too, and you'll be surprised once you say those things, how things really do just change around, okay? So the takeaway is to just be present, be kind to yourself, be kind to other people. Sometimes we need to say things that, other people don't want to hear. When we're in relationships and we know the other person really is just, in the relationship, but we're not feeling it so much, or vice versa. We're not doing anyone any good by not saying something, right? Because what we're doing is we're holding them back from where they're supposed to be going. People are lessons and blessings, right? And when relationships aren't working out, the Ten of Swords is, you've just got to accept things for what they are. And, that includes people. So it's just, too, with the Queen of Swords, or Queen of Cups, I think, too, that's why I was really just saying, just be honest. Be honest. Don't let your emotions get out of control. Just be honest, so that people They really know. It's not fair to yourself or anyone else, you know. So maybe that's where I was coming up with the, you know, just say you're sorry. There's certain days, too, where I'm just, you know, I look around the house and I think, you know, I really could have done more today, but I just didn't have it in me, you know, and I apologize to myself and I'll just do better the next day. And you let it go. You let it go. We don't need to beat ourselves 10 ways to Tuesday, you know. We're human beings. That's just it. But I felt the need to say that, and I really felt it because I think maybe because we're lacking, you know, some sense of grounding here and the fire here. We can feel a little bit insecure and intimidated and, you know, not up to par, so to speak. That nervous energy just takes over, and it kind of can really play with your mind sometimes. So that's all. I think Monday is basically going to be uneventful to a degree. It's a day to really just be kind with yourself, be honest with yourself, take stock of the things that you really don't want to carry with you, and really just get a plan in place to just release them and just free up that energy. You really don't want to be carrying it around. Okay, guys, this was short and sweet, and I really just think it was, you know, make a wish too, because you've got the star card here. Okay, that really is a great card, and that's the universe. It's a destiny card too. Okay, so it's the universe saying, you know, we're getting where we're going here. You know, it's a transition. We're just going to be kind to ourselves. We're going to accept things the way they are and take a step back and be present. You know, and be grateful too. Just give thanks. You know, that's it. Just be accountable for yourself, and that's basically it. Okay? Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you need a private reading, please reach out to me.